Hey, peace, beloved, peace, beloved, peace, beloved. I wish I could give you this feeling because I'm feeling good. We're here tonight with a return to nature is common sense. A return to nature is common sense. And the person who makes that claim is the good queen, Marcia, and unmute yourself, from Common Sense and from Black Star Orgonite. And I may have said Orgonite incorrectly. Unmute yourself, queen.
No,
We
you
can see
said
your
it
smiling
correctly.
face. Okay.
No, you said
Good
it
stuff.
correctly.
Good stuff. A return to nature is common sense. And hanging out with us on the show today, on the platform, is the good brother Bashiri. How are you doing, Bashiri?
Doing great, man. What's up? How everybody doing?
All right. This is Bashiri with the big words. Yo, this brother's super intelligent. So, hey, we have Marcia with us, and we have Bashiri, and we're going to talk about a return to nature. So, let's talk about what you're bringing up when you talk about a return to nature. When you talk about a return to nature, Marcia,
Yes.
What are you discussing? What are you talking about?
Well, from my side, I'm discussing basically your skin being your largest organ, and that how we need to protect our skin. We need to heal from the inside, but as well as the outside. As is above, so is below. You can't have one benefit and not have the other. It doesn't work out like that. So when I originally started this journey was because my husband being a type 2 diabetic, I didn't want to see him on medication because I know that can damage the pancreas and the liver. So I asked him if it would be okay if I tried to find some alternatives. And before you can heal someone, you have to get them to agree to the healing process, or it doesn't work because it's mental as well as physical. So once I had his permission to start healing him, I started finding resources. And the universe speaks to me. I don't come up with these thoughts on my own. Sometimes I dream them and then they manifest. But what the universe told me is, even if I heal him from the inside, what about the outside? And I didn't even think about that. That wasn't on my mind. And the first thing I started was changing the things that we clean our home with. We're using way too many chemicals. And I'll just give you an example of way too many chemicals. The average woman that I would say works a 9 to 5, and that's always prim and proper and always dressed to the nine, she's using about 300 to 400 chemicals on a daily basis with all the products. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. With all the products, you're talking the stuff in the hair, the underarm, the perfume, the clothes, the detergent, the stuff they use to freshen up their personal parts,
the good parts.
Yeah. So you're having a combination of chemicals, and no one knows what that combination actually does to the immune system because it's so many. And then the cleaning products. So she's using toxic soap, toxic detergent. She's cleaning her home with these various chemicals. She's going to get her nails done. It's no telling how many chemicals are in those nail products that they go to the nail salon to get done. One of them is formaldehyde. They don't read that, but I'm just letting them know. Yeah, formaldehyde is in nail polish. Done research on that. So you got all these chemicals. And every day you're going out amongst other people that also have a bunch of chemicals. So y'all basically trading chemicals back and forth. And then the stuff that's spraying in the sky that's getting all on you and going into your pores and going into your bloodstream. So I can't control what goes on outside my house, but I can control what goes on the inside. And that is where my focus had to be. So I started making all our cleaning products that I could make myself. The only thing I haven't perfected is dishwashing liquid. So I do use an organic dishwashing liquid, but that's the only thing I have an issue with. Yes.
I'm sitting here tripping because I just did a quick Google search, and it says formaldehyde is an ingredient in some nail hardeners and nail polishes. And the FDA
approved
incredible.
it. And embalming fluid is on your fingernails. Wow. See, these are things we don't even think about. We grew up in that environment. We just unconsciously do these things. We've been told. Now there's this big issue about the talcum powder. I remember getting that when I was a little girl. After my mother washed me up, she would put a little sprinkle of talcum powder in my underwear. I remember that. I didn't continue that as an adult, but I do remember that as a child. So now there's a big lawsuit because women are getting ovarian and cervical cancer from the stuff that's in the talcum powder. Because we think we're always supposed to smell a certain way. Everybody has their own unique scent, but because we use all these chemicals, we're now starting to smell the same. For instance, babies. The majority of the hospitals, when a newborn baby comes out, they wash them up in Johnson & Johnson products, and they give you a basket of it to take home. So now you think your baby is only clean if they smell like Johnson & Johnson's. That's not what a baby smells like. So they trick you with scents, colors, and bubbles, and you become addicted to that. So when we return back to nature, you smell nature. You don't smell all the chemicals and all the pretty scents. You smell like my great-great-grandmother, and I was blessed to be living with 6 living generations. But my great-great-grandmother, who was born in 1899, she had a wash machine in her house. And when I came over, I had to hand wash my clothes and hang them on the line. I think that wash machine was for decoration. It did work, but that was not how she was raised. So I remember being 8, 9 years old, hand washing clothes and hanging them out to dry. We've gotten away from that. And she wasn't using toxic laundry detergent. She made her own. So I teach a detox your home class where I teach people how to use various non-toxic recipes. The best thing you could have in your house is vinegar, white vinegar, baking soda, and a couple of essential oils. Like I use lemon and peppermint are my favorite. I got about 60 different essential oils, but lemon and peppermint are the ones that I usually use for cleaning because of the effective potency of them. But we've gotten away from naturally doing things for ourselves. Everything, okay. Yes.
Woo, I just want to stop you because I wanted to let you go for a second, and then I want to splash people with this. So what we see here are some soaps by Queen Marcia Harris Owens. She has a company, CommonScents4U.org. That's CommonScents4U.org. And we're hanging out with Marcia from CommonScents4U.org. We're talking about healthy health and beauty products made in Virginia. So today is a combination of the Beach Brothers Show, which is on Virginia business and politics, and Get On Code, the Fly Guy Show, which is a series of melanated conversations to improve our collective situation. With us today, we have Marcia from Common Sense, and we have the good brother back on the platform. He's been here before. He's always dropping gems. Good brother Bashiri. Brother Bashiri has a beautiful podcast that we're going to get into a little later. But I tell you what, Bashiri, Marcia just laid out some deep stuff, man. You have children, man. What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking how relevant all the jewels and the gems that she just disclosed to us really is with respect to the development of our own economic enterprises. And it always goes back to being industrious, having knowledge yourself, understanding that convenience in a lot of ways really causes that creative ingenuity to atrophy. You know what I mean? Because we become so comfortable and we become so dependent that we very rarely develop the facility to meet our needs on our terms, with respect to what's uniquely native to our experience, because we do have a unique experience as melaninated people on the planet. We're not the same as everybody else on the planet, contrary to popular opinion or political belief persuasion. We have distinctions, and we have certain characteristics that are part and parcel to our melaninated constitutions. And we have to be aware of that. We have to have a cognizance, and we have to have a mastery on those kinds of elements and dynamics that inform our experience as such. And so, salute to the Queen for recognizing and having the consciousness and the awareness to understand that, hey, there's some things that I need to employ on the basis of my knowledge of my experience as a melaninated human being. And they're not going to do that through the mass media mechanism of, these white institutions or even their corporate systems. They're not, they're doing these blanket kinds of treatments. And so I salute the system, man. I mean, on point, on code.
Wow. As you see, I was taking notes when Sherry starts talking. I've been taking copious notes while Marcia was talking. That's some incredible information. So, wow, you gave us the background, the foundation for Common Sense for You. Your husband had diabetes, and you wanted to find a great way to bring health to your household. And now you're bringing health to other households through your firm. So, tell us more about Common Sense for You. Tell us about what you've done with CommonScents4U.org and how you're helping everybody else to become healthy. I have the soap myself, and I used to bug oil. I used to use the bug oil that you made out as well. So go ahead and get your newbie on and tell us a little bit about CommonScents4U.org.
Well, right now, I make about 30 different products. Once I got started, it was like, okay, I made the bug off oil, then I made the tooth powder, and then it was like I have a friend in New York, Nilda, and she would always challenge me to make other stuff that corporations make. And that really got me to doing more research, because I knew I could make it better, because by me being a small business owner, I don't need to stretch out my product. So a lot of times corporations use cheaper products so they can get a bigger bottom line. I don't need to do that. So mine can be a better quality, or even similar in nature to what the corporations are making. So she really challenged me to make different things for her, which got me to making lip balm. And I will only make peppermint lip balm. People will ask me if I will make flavored lip balm, but to me, that's not natural. Your lips should be soft and pliable. They don't need to taste like cherry and grape. So
hold on. That's so fun. My wife's lips, when they taste like cherry, it's so fun. You're saying, okay.
But where is that cherry flavoring coming from? That's not a natural flavoring. It was made in a lab. I only use peppermint essential oil, which is from nature. You're hooked on scents, colors, and bubbles.
Ooh. Okay. All right, so we're hanging out with Marcia from CommonScents4U.org. Common Sense for You. She has a healthy health and beauty products line. And we have the good brother, Bashiri. He has a beautiful podcast. Also co-owner of Black Brand. Co-president. co-founder,
Salute. Salute.
co-founder, which is the Hampton Roads Black Chamber of Commerce. So look, Bashiri has some beautiful children. All right. Do you have some products that a father could enjoy with his children that would make his children's lives healthy?
The one thing I always give to children is my house blend goat's milk soap, which has moringa in it, which is great. It has oatmeal and honey, and all these things are great for the skin. They're nourishing. They provide vitamins and minerals. Everybody that I know personally that has had a newborn has gotten that soap. And Nilda was the one who challenged me to make the soap. So actually my husband makes that one. And what happened was one of her nieces had severe eczema, and they tried everything on the market. I mean, they spent a lot of money. So she asked me, could I make her a soap? And I told my husband, and he said, no, I'll make it. So that's how he got into the soap making side. So he made it, and they've been using that soap for about 3 years because it works. And it's not all about the soap. It's also what they eat. So you have to eat correctly. If you don't, your body is designed to hurt you, to alert you that something is wrong. Most of the time when people have eczema, they eat something that their body doesn't like. So it shows up in your skin. That's your first sign. And if you're a face reader, you can tell each organ is in your face. So
wait, before you go deeper, you're saying your body will hurt you to alert you.
Yes.
That you're doing something wrong.
So
say that one more time. That's so deep.
Your body is designed to hurt you, to alert you that something is wrong. That's what it's designed to do. It's a team effort. If you don't pull your weight, then the other side of the team is going to foul. So say if you don't drink enough water, your kidneys start hurting because it's not able to filter. So people like, oh, my kidney hurt, my side hurt. You're not drinking no water. You get a headache. People say, oh, I got a headache. The first thing I tell them, I got my water too.
Drinks water on cue.
When people say, oh, I got a headache, the first thing I ask them, how much water do you drink? Because that's the first sign of dehydration. You start getting a headache because your brain ain't getting enough moisture. And then they like, oh, and they'll always say, oh, I don't drink that much. I hear it so often. I don't drink that much water. Our bodies is 70, 80% water. So is the earth. We need to put us back into us. So if you're dehydrating on a cellular level. When one organ is shutting down, it has to pull from the other ones. So the water is being pulled from your other organs, trying to compensate for the one that is deficient. That's when you start getting that pain because the body's like, there's a malfunction. You need to correct it. People have lymph nodes all over the body. Most of them don't notice it. They notice the ones under the armpits. And that usually comes from using bad deodorant or infected hair follicles. The body will get a lump in it. Feels almost like a boil. But the body's saying there's a toxin that it's not able to release. Help. So it's sending out a signal. And if you just keep ignoring it, it just keeps getting worse. Pretty soon, that organ that's trying to help you will just stop working because it's like, well, you don't need me, so I might as well go to sleep. A lot of people put their organs to sleep because they're not drinking an adequate amount of water. They're not eating the right foods, but the water is really important. But they drink Kool-Aid, Gatorade, Starbucks, whatever aid. They don't want the water because they hooked on flavor. Now you can flavor your water with fruit and have natural vitamin water. It doesn't take that much effort to cut up some lemons, some limes, some strawberries, add a couple of herbs to your water and go on about your life. but people are so, I call this the microwave generation. They want everything done quick, fast, and in a hurry. They don't want to spend the 5 minutes to put the little fruit in a water bottle. They rather just go drive through one of the convenience stores or run into, you know, the all night whatever and grab something out the cooler. No telling what's in that. I don't drink orange juice from the store. Want me to tell you why? Did some research on that too. That's all I do most of the time. I just be looking up stuff. Oranges do not grow all year round. So I said, how are they able to sell orange juice 365 days of the year if the crop isn't actually still producing fruit? Come to find out, they got these humongous stainless steel vats. They put the oranges in there and suck out the oxygen so it can preserve for 6 months to a year. Wow. If you look on the back of the orange juice container, it says made from concentrate. The first ingredient is water. They have to add water into it. Why do orange juice need water? So you're drinking orange juice that's anywhere from 6 months to a year old. You don't know that because they all have a signature lab created flavor. And you can tell every orange juice company from their signature flavor, Minute Maid, Sunny Delight, whoever, they all have a signature flavor that's patent. That's because you drinking stale food and they didn't doctored it up. But you don't know that because you so used to drinking Minute Maid. How Minute Maid oranges taste different from everybody else oranges? Like y'all only got one kind of oranges y'all grow? No, they have a signature flavor that was created in the lab. So, and then they fill it full of sugar. Wow. And that's why you addicted to it, because that sugar gene and got turned on and your brain is like, ooh, let me get some orange juice first thing in the morning. No, don't do that. Drink you some water. You should be drinking room temperature water, 2 glasses in the morning to finish your flushing cycle of your organs, because they flush while you're sleeping. They run through the process. You should be drinking 2 glasses of warm water, room temperature in the morning, and 2 glasses of room temperature water before you go to bed. Most people don't want to drink the water before you go to bed because they don't want to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Well, that's just part of the process. You're going to have to get up. If they turn off their electronics, they could go right back to sleep. But what happens, they get up and they get on Facebook. And they on Facebook at 3 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock. And now they trying to take an hour nap so they can get up and go to work. And they wonder why they're tired. So too many electronics. If they got smart meters, most homes now have smart meters. That's where they read your electricity without actually coming out onto your property. They usually transmit that data between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. So every home in your vicinity is transmitting. That transmission is going through your walls and it's waking you up and breaking your circadian rhythm. There's stuff you can do, but a lot of people don't know about Faraday paint and Faraday cages and all that. But that EMF, RMF is coming through the walls and it's messing with your cells while you sleeping. So you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you just up. You trying to figure out why I keep getting up at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, because the transmission is so strong, it disrupts sleep. So that is something that people aren't aware of either. It's so much with your health that is external that you may not be aware of. That's why we create the Orgonite. That's why we have a bunch of shungite all around the house. We got it on our smart meter. We got it on our Wi-Fi. We got it on our television. We have a lot of shungite in our house to block some of that and to make it back into maybe a neutral frequency instead of something that harms us. And we'll have vivid dreams and life will be great. But, you know,
okay, hold on. Whoo, I just got to let that marinate for a second. Let that information breathe. Let that breathe, as Jay-Z would say. All right. So look, I'm on your Facebook page, Black Star Orgonite. Black Star Orgonite. So when you talk about shungite and orgonite, we're looking at these things, right?
Yes, those
That's
are
what we're looking
organized.
at, right?
Yeah, we make pyramids, pendants, charging plates, keychains, the whole shebang. If you go into our photo album, yeah, that's our photo album. That's some of the work we've already done. We always do custom stuff, and we don't charge more for custom. People just like to tell us what they want, and we want them to be part of the design process. So a lot of those designs you see were requested. We didn't just think of it off the top of our head. We do a lot. The pyramids are usually something we dream of ourselves, but most of the pendants were requested by our customers.
Okay, so what is orgonite?
Now you asking the person that don't make the orgonite. You want me to get the expert?
All right, we'll come back to that then. But I know I have some of the orgonite. You know, you gave me. Actually, I purchased a few pieces. Yeah, and it was a pretty penny too, and it was worth every dime.
Basically, it turns bad energy into positive energy. So when you have the EMF and the RMF, that is on the positive side, and you need it to be on the negative side. And I believe I'm saying that correctly. I'm finna have Mr. Black Star Orgonite come down real quick. But when he first started making the pieces, some of them were too strong for me, and he would have to cover them up in aluminum foil because they can be quite powerful. And if you're an empath or you read energy, you can see the aura around the pieces. So we had a piece up at the House of Consciousness that was so powerful that it had to have a light on it at all times. So an empath looked at it and told us it was trying to break out of the structure because we had put a star tetrahedron in it and it was trying to come out.
I tell you, when I hear what you're talking about, it sounds like some sci-fi. It's out of this world. This is not the kind of things that people really talk about. I'm telling you that, you know, Bashiri, man, when I hear information like this, it really kind of opens up new information, new consciousness, kind of throws me a little bit. I get a little suspicious. So, you know, you're a father. We're both fathers. So salute all the fathers. Clap it up for the pops.
Absolutely.
When you hear this type of information, what are you thinking about, bro?
I mean, I'm intrigued by it. I'm a curious kind of person anyway. I love novel information and new information. I think information it's in and of itself is a vital life resource. And so we got to acquire people who have expertise and acumen and are adept in areas that, you know, we just don't have. We don't have the aptitude in. You know what I'm saying? That's why community is so important. I really wanted to ask my sister, because she kept saying how we have been almost victims of a sensory hack. You know what I mean? Like, okay, your eyes are being attuned to certain information, then you become acclimated, then you become addicted, and it's like, okay, there's so many things that we have to unlearn. And so as we're unlearning these things, I'm wondering if the sister has an institute where you can, you know, really funnel in the knowledge, because I did hear you say too, in order for many of your products to be effective, the person has to be receptive. You know what I'm saying? They have to be open to receiving what it is that you bring. And so it's like, do you kind of like, you know, get the ground ready with information as you engage with your customers, or is it they already know something and they feel like, okay, you have what they already know, or is it, you know, both and either or? How does that work? You know, are you teaching is what I'm saying? Because I'm getting so much information right now. It's just like, did you distill it yet? Is there syllabus? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm glad that she brought on with her the good brother Rod, who Rod the Moor, spelled Moor, for my fellow Moors out there. Peace, brother. How you doing tonight?
How are you? I'm
okay.
well.
Well. All right. So this young man is Marcia's husband. This is the man that she talked about. She wanted to heal from diabetes. But I tell you what, this brother is doing a lot of healing work himself. I have 2 pieces of his shungite, orgonite. I can't remember which one is which. Before you answer Bashiri's question, can you talk a little bit about what orgonite and shungite and fungite and all the ites are, man?
Well, shungite is it's a carbon-based stone. Shungite is a naturally occurring stone that's found primarily in Russia. That's where it's sourced from, in the Karelia region of Russia. Shungite itself absorbs impurities, absorbs radiation. It will purify water, and I put shungite in just about all of the orgonite that I make. Now the orgonite itself is it's a compound made of organic and inorganic materials. You can make shungite, or you can make orgonite without shungite, but it's a lot more effective if you have the shungite in it. The orgonite, it's technology from the 1930s. It was really pioneered by he was an Austrian physicist called Wilhelm Reich. Essentially, he was building these chambers using alternating layers of fiberglass and steel wool. And essentially what orgonite does is it accumulates. He was building orgone accumulators. And orgone itself is it's what some people call chi, prana, the life force. It concentrates it in one place. And essentially, long story short, is he was doing this in the United States, and the government told him stop doing this, and he said no, kept doing it, and they put him in jail, and he died in jail. This is in the 1930s, and there are people that are kind of they continued the technology, kind of modified a little bit, and that's what we're doing now with the orgonite. It's still doing the same thing. The modality is a little different, using different materials, but it's affecting. It's doing the same thing, accumulating the chi, the prana, the life force, and essentially what that does is it absorbs anything that's negative and puts out things that are good. It's like some people call the orgone pieces diodes. A diode is an electrical device that only allows electricity to flow in one direction, and these diodes only allow good stuff to flow out and bad stuff to be absorbed in.
Wow. Okay. Well, okay. Whew. And so you and your lovely wife make these pieces.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this one is a pyramid with a 7. I guess it's like a circle 7.
Well, yeah. The 7 is used a lot in the Moors use 7 a lot. Essentially what it represents is 7 days. The 7-day cycle. That's where the 7 is. It's a big part of Moorish science and all that.
Ashe. So you make these products and you sell them, so they can go to Black Star Orgonite on Facebook and they can get these products.
Yes. Yeah, I actually just I've been trying to put some up, periodically. I try to put some up every week, and on BlackStarOrgonite.com, which is actually there's a Facebook page, Black Star Orgonite, but there's also e-commerce store, BlackStarOrgonite.com, where you can actually go and buy some of the pieces that I create. And there's not a lot up there because I don't create a lot, because the process is kind of lengthy, and I don't just crank out stuff just to have it out there.
Okay.
But,
Tell us a little bit about Moreware. I pulled that up on the screen. So you also have a shop on Etsy where you sell Moorish American or Moorish Science Temple or Moorish Science type stuff.
Yeah, it's just Moorish themed wear. I've got I got the hats. I've got the masks. Everybody's being required to wear these masks. So I figure you might as well represent, show something that you represent. The shirts, they're silk screened. I have a guy that actually prints them as they're ordered. So if someone goes there and they decide they want to order a shirt, they just place the order in the size that they want it and the color that they want, and I'll have it manufactured and ship it out to them. I do have a lot of designs that aren't up there already, but time being what it is, I just haven't had time to put the designs. I think it's probably about 15 different designs that I have. What I've done is I've actually had the screens made so I can have them printed. So as I have time, I'll put more designs up on the moreware.com.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for sharing your information on Orgonite and Shungite, and I'm glad we were able to highlight the things that you're selling on moreware.com. I definitely want to take a quick commercial break, and so we can salute some of the sponsors for the show. I want to say thanks to the good people at Guidance Whiskey. I don't drink a lot, but when I do, I enjoy Guidance Whiskey. You can find them at guidancewhiskey.com. That's guidancewhiskey.com. One of the other great sponsors is CommonScents4U.org. That's CommonScents4U.org. And we're actually talking with Sister Marcia from CommonScents4U.org right now about the great things that their firm has. You can go on CommonScents4U.org and you'll see this. All this great stuff here. My wife and I really like the sugar scrub cubes. And tell us about the tooth powder. Tell us about the tooth. Is toothpaste good for the body? Because you're selling health and beauty products. That's the goat milk there, right? I'm going to try that. I have a family member who has severe eczema as well, so I'm going to try that with them. I didn't know it was good for severe eczema, but I'm looking at their products now, and I see this herbal tooth powder. And I know the good brother Crumb Snatcher used to talk about your herbal tooth powder. Bashir, he's a fan. I'm a fan. Salute to Crumb Snatcher. Tell us a little bit about why we should use tooth powder instead of toothpaste.
Well, most commercial toothpaste has fluoride in it. Fluoride is very toxic. Now, there's natural fluoride, and then there's the chemical fluoride. This chemical fluoride is the one that's found in most toothpaste and in the water supply system. Unfortunately, it is a waste product of the aluminum companies. They tricked it into the water system. If you got it in its raw form and dropped it on the ground, it would melt through concrete. So basically, these companies have us walking around as their personal toxic waste dump sites, individually. Yeah. So instead of them paying the money to get rid of it, they put it into the system, and now we are the toxic waste dump sites.
Interesting. So you can go to CommonScents4U.org. Once again, the website is CommonScents4U.org. And when you get to that website, you'll see the herbal tooth powder. You can buy some of those Great products that they have. I'm going to purchase the goat milk. We're going to talk a little more about the Detox Your Skin package. We're definitely going to do that. Also want to salute the good brother Bashir. He has a great podcast on Apple Podcast called Love, Peace, and Confrontation. You're working on a new series on the civil rights movement. What's your talk about the civil rights movement, Bashir?
I guess it's a caveat to that topic is really having to deal firmly and flat-footed and squarely with reality as it is. And what I'm doing is I'm critiquing the civil rights movement. That civil rights series I have rather on the podcast is called Why the Civil Rights Movement is a Failure. And we're kind of, we're using hindsight with the things that are current right now with police brutality as it is, with the social and political economic inequities that continue to persist in our communities, and many of the things that they were fighting in yesteryear, we're still in the current fighting just new permutations and iterations of what I call franchise oppression. And so I really get into denuding and knocking down and really discarding these sacred cows that yield nothing but sour milk to our community. And
wow.
I'm a firm believer in, if we can't critically reflect upon even our heroes and look at not just their accomplishments, but the ways in which they missed the mark, well, then how are they really serving our community? So it's like, hey, it's no time for being polite right about now. When we're watching our people extinguished live and direct on all media platforms where they literally are suffocating you with a knee on your neck, this is not the time to mince words about where we fell. And so I'm looking at very critically the ways in which the civil rights movement kind of situated us such that we became dependent upon a system that was never meant to liberate us and could never liberate us. So
wow. So if you like what you're hearing, check out Bashiri's great podcast, Love, Peace, and Confrontation. This other podcast, which I produce, is his wife's podcast, Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham. As you can see, it's 5 stars. Man, this show is the heat. So you definitely want to check out Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham. I want to say what's up to Dr. Charles Corprew. He has a great podcast that I produce as well. The What's Your Revolution Show with Dr. Charles Corprew. You can find all 3 of these on Apple Podcasts, and also the Fly Guy Show. This show, the Fly Guy Show, Get on Code, the Fly Guy Show, is on Apple Podcasts as well. So make sure you check that out. And the last sponsor, I have to highlight the things that pay for the show, is check out Positive Vibes Incorporated. My firm, we do credit fixes, tax resolution. We lend money to real estate investors, and we do debt consolidation. So I have a great team I've put together, and we can do all of these services for you. If you need to get your credit fixed, we got you. I have somebody on my team that's working with a lot of great people in the area. We can handle people all over the country. So credit fixes, tax resolution, lend private money, and we do debt consolidation. An example with the lending, I helped this particular client get $33,000. The purchase price for this property was only $33,000. It needed $58,000 in rehab. We were able to provide him with 90% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab cost. So we put money in your pocket. Positive vibes. And I'm back now with Marcia. And as you can see, she's sporting some of those fashions for more. I like that Circle 7 hat. That's hot. That's hot, man. That's hot.
Keep your head warm. It's cold out here. I'm from Chicago. I got to keep warm wherever I go.
All right. Well, tell me about Chi-Town. What was it like growing up in Chi-Town?
It wasn't that bad, but it was certain parts of Chicago that I didn't venture to because I heard about it, and that was good enough for me. I wasn't one of them. Let me go find out. No, I'm good. The West Side was the side of Chicago that you basically stayed away from if you wasn't about that life, because they wasn't gonna play with you if something was gonna jump off at any given time. So I stayed off the west side. I grew up on the south side and some parts of the north side. So I didn't have it that bad, but there are some horror stories, but I'm not going to go into them right now because that's a whole nother show. That's stuff.
All right.
You were asking me about the herbal tooth powder. Basically, you have good gut bacteria and you also have good mouth bacteria. With the herbal tooth powder, it keeps that in check. So you can also, because your teeth are bone, they will regrow. People don't understand that. A small
back up.
Whoa.
I need that.
Whoa. Say that again.
Your teeth are bone. They're bone. They will remineralize if given the right environment. So if you have a small cavity, you can heal it yourself if you put the right things in your mouth, the good bacteria. People don't, because you were taught to go to the dentist, and if you got a cavity, for them to stick the toxic mercury silver fillings in your teeth. Yeah, you need to get that taken out. I got mine taken out already, me and my husband.
Wow.
I had a qualified dentist to pull that out. So that's another part of that toxic waste dump system. Give it to the people, and we ain't got to get rid of it. Mercury is not safe in any form. They tell you it's silver, but it's mixed with mercury. And then later on, people will start having brain issues, dementia, Alzheimer's, because got heavy metal poisoning. They don't tell you that because they don't care. They don't care about us. If you gone before 65, yay, more money for them. They ain't got to pay you Social Security. So that's why I developed the tooth powder. Yeah, that's why I developed the tooth powder. I used to use this one company toothpaste, and it was supposed to be fluoride free. Not saying that it wasn't, but they got a class action lawsuit against them, and I was done with that. So whatever that class action lawsuit was for, I got my little $35. I was through with their company because something ain't right that you got a judge to say you lied and you need to get them people back their money. So we done with y'all. So I started making my own tooth powder. It's got a lot of peppermint in it, peppermint leaves. I use real organic stevia. Let me tell y'all something about stevia. Stevia is a plant. It's green. It is not white. When you see stevia in any color but green, it has been going through some weird process that has now made it white. It is green. So I only use organic, natural green stevia. Stevia is also medicinal. Yeah, so I told you, since Colors and Bubbles, they trick you into thinking anything that's white is right. So even though I've tasted the plant and it's very sweet, you can't even eat a whole leaf of it. It's seriously sweet. It's medicinal. You can look that up. But they want you to, they whitewash everything. So you're sitting here, you go to the store. I went to a health food store and asked him for some natural stevia. He came out here and it says on the bag natural. I said, that's not stevia. And he just looked at me. He didn't understand what I was saying. I said, stevia is a plant. It's green. Only way it can be natural if you dried it out, dehydrated it, and then put it in a blender and broke it down into a powder. That's not stevia. So all the stevia I see on the shelf, I just shake my head like, because nobody does any research. You just buy what you see, the latest fad, and you, oh yeah, put agave in my drink, put stevia in my drink, and what is that? You know, and I don't understand it. I'm so confused sometimes. Going to the store trying to shop is very confusing. So I have a front yard garden, a backyard garden, a greenhouse. I dug up my lawn. All my neighbors have beautiful grass and all the little trinkets of whatever life they want to imagine themselves having. And I said, I can't eat none of y'all grass. So I'm just going to dig up mine and grow food. And I'm the only house on my block that has a front yard garden. They probably looking at me like, yeah, I'm looking at you like, what? Why? Why aren't you growing your own food? Why? I don't understand.
Wow. Let's go through some questions. How does your your skin package detox somebody's body? So if I go to, CommonScents4U.org, and I find that detox your skin package,
Okay.
that you have, detox your skin package.
Yeah,
how
click
does
on
that detox your skin? How does that work? I mean, what?
Click on it. Click on the thing so you can see the list of everything that's in that package. And I actually have it priced way too low, but I don't care. So you got your tooth powder. We just talked about the good mouth bacteria. So you don't have halitosis and cavities and all that. Then you have your detox deodorant. Most people use a chemical-based deodorant and it clogs up the lymph nodes. And for women, eventually you may find a lump. They're going to tell you that's breast cancer. I will tell y'all something about that, but I'm not a medical professional. Let me tell you that right now. There's a way to get rid of that without surgery, but if I tell you, people gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm not. Then you've got your magnesium body cream. Everybody in the United States is deficient in magnesium. They took it out the soil. The soil is depleted of so many minerals here, it's ridiculous. But magnesium is extremely important. Magnesium is for your heart. If your body gets too low in magnesium, you will have a heart issue. A lot of people don't know that. That dark, nasty chocolate, rich in magnesium. So if you take it through your body transdermally, which is on the skin, it goes directly into your bloodstream and bypasses your gut where it doesn't break down. Now, a lot of times you'll get these supplements, the pill form. And once you take them, it has to go through a process. Well, by the time it gets to your gut, where all that acid is, it's broken down. So, for example, you're taking a 600 milligram all-purpose multivitamin. Well, by the time it goes through, you got about 10% of it. So maybe 20 if you're lucky. So if you really want to get 600 milligrams of your multi-purpose vitamin that's on the shelf in every store, you need to take 30 of those at one time. Now, what's going to happen when you do that is you're going to be rushed to the emergency room. You got about 30 minutes wait before you can get your stomach pumped out and it'll be safe. But they're going to put you in a 48-hour hold for mental problems because they're going to say you crazy. When you try to explain to them that you tried to get 600 milligrams of that vitamin, but you need to take 30 pills to do it, they're going to say you a nut and we going to lock you up. Most of the vitamins that are on the store, they have that little waxy coating on them. That's from coal tar, literally coal tar. I'm telling you, they have us walking around as a toxic waste dump.
Wow.
So if you do your history on the pharmaceutical industry, you'll find out it was part of the petroleum industry. Like they didn't know what to do with the sludge after they got through. So they made some stuff. They call them pharmaceuticals. Look it up. John D. Rockefeller. Look that up. That stuff is toxic. A lot of your pharmaceuticals have heroin in them. Yeah, you're a crackhead. You don't even know you're a crackhead.
And you don't even know it.
Yo.
So some of these people that decide, I'm not going to take no more pharmaceuticals, I'm just going to wean myself and go cold turkey. They wind up in the emergency room. And then they find out that they on heroin and they have to go in through the detox program to get off the medication. It's crazy. A lot of the medication got fluoride in it, attacking your pineal gland, calcifying it. They don't tell you that. You just read the bottle. The doctor say take it. You okay? They are legal drug dealers.
Okay.
They get a check.
Okay. They're making the money.
So that's why they want. I went to my husband's doctor and my shoulder was frozen, and I knew it was gonna be frozen because I'm on the computer a lot. He didn't even examine me. He said, I can give you a prescription for some pain pills. I said, sir, I do not take drugs of any kind. So then he gave me a printout of exercises I could do to unlock my shoulder. I said, so your first thought was to poison me.
Wow.
Okay.
I never went back. Fire your doctor if they're not doing what you want them to do, but know what you're talking about when you go in there. Because my new doctor, go ahead, man.
Wow. Let's get back to making money with Common Sense for You, because they're making enough money off of us. How does your bug off oil keep the bugs away? That's what kind of, I put that oil on, I got that from you, 4 years ago? 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And every summer I use it. I don't have to use, you told me, you don't have to use a lot, Seko. And I was like, yeah, right. I'm so used to spraying, whatever that stuff is, off all over my body and my clothes and everything. But I put a little bit of that stuff on and the mosquitoes left me alone. So how does your bug off oil work?
This is the thing in nature. Certain plants, bugs don't like. So I use the essential oils of those plants that the bugs don't like. And I mix it with a carrier oil, which is usually fractionated coconut oil, because it doesn't chunk up in the wintertime. Regular coconut oil, when it gets cold, it turns into a chunk, but the fractionated coconut oil doesn't. So with the bug off oil, you got lemon, eucalyptus, cedarwood, lemongrass, geranium. These are your essential oil, citronella. And everybody knows about citronella. That's just like in all them little tiki torches, that's citronella. Peppermint essential oil. So all those oils are from plants. Those are the plants that the bugs don't like. Because if you go and you grow you a little herbal garden, you won't see no mosquitoes in your herbal garden. You'll see some other little bugs that usually in the soil, but just hovering around your garden, you won't see them because they don't like the oil that those plants produce. It messes up their receptors. So that's the oil that I use in the bug off oil. And I've had friends go as far as Mexico and never got bit. One of my friends went to one of the villages in Africa and didn't get ate up. They said the only time we got bit is when we didn't use the oil. I said, I tried to tell you. So when I found out about it, I mixed it up and I got a baby's blend too that doesn't have all those oils in it, because some essential oils aren't good for children. So I have an adult version and a children's version under 9 and under, and then 10 and up. So okay. Yeah. So if somebody got a baby, they can be protected as well. They ain't got to be like, oh, my baby got to get ate up, but I'm good. No, we're not doing that.
All right, so hey, we're gonna bring this to a close, and we're gonna go around and get some last information from the good brother Bashiri. We've been listening to Marcia Owens from Common Sense for You, CommonScents4U.org. Go ahead. My next question is going to be, what's been the hardest part of this journey? But I know you have something else you want to say first. So
we were talking about the shungite. My husband told you about that, right? Shungite is one of the only mineral stones that can complete a circuit. This is a flashlight. This is shungite.
Wow.
This is a flashlight.
A stone did that.
This is shungite. This is a little small piece of shungite. It completes a circuit.
It's an infinity stone.
That's how I know if shungite is real. When I get a piece, I stick it on top of the flashlight. If it don't light it up, they can have that back.
Wow.
All right. So what's been the hardest part of this journey? Because I tell you, this knowledge, this business, because it is a business, I pay for my products and you should too. How do you pay for your products? You're going to go to CommonScents4U.org. That's CommonScents4U.org. Common Sense, number 4, the letter U.org. You pick up your products. All right. So what's been the hardest part of your journey?
For me, getting the word out of my products. I'm not good at marketing. That is not my thing. Getting everything loaded up on my website. Like I said, I make 30 different products, but I probably got 10 on the website because every time I try to load it, it don't load. I don't know what's going on. But that's the hardest part, is really getting the information out to the masses so that they can make a purchase. A lot of stuff I give away, that's just me and how we work in our household. You know that. But that's the hardest part. I'm not a marketing person. I can make a bunch of stuff, but once it comes to the selling part, that's not my genre.
All right. Hey, Brother Bashiri, any last questions?
Like I said, man, if you could develop a syllabus and distill all of this great content and information and get it to the community, I think we would all benefit therefrom. I hope also that you can find somebody in the community that can assist you with your marketing needs, because you need to be mass producing. You know what I mean? And I hope mass producing doesn't conflict with your philosophy of the quality of your production. And it may, I don't know, but it almost sounded like when you said because certain products are mass produced, it almost necessitates that there's going to be a decline in the quality of products that are produced. So we would never want you to compromise the quality of what you're producing, but we definitely, I mean, obviously the community needs this incredible information and know-how that you've already, seen fit to develop. So I hope we can like develop a happy medium somehow for you. I don't know. Seko, help us out, man. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, we're going to have to make sure she scales. And the great thing is within the organization, Bashiri, that you co-founded, that you're the co-president of, Black Brand, we have some people that can help Sister Marcia scale. But speaking of scale, you've done a great job in scaling your Common Sense group on Facebook. So I'm sure people want to find out about it. Tell us a little bit about the Common Sense group.
Well, now that's where all the information is that you're asking me about. I've been putting information in that group for about 7 years, and you're talking about 12 hours a day for 7 years. There's so much information in there. You can just go into the search and type in, say if you typed in Moringa, Moringa in the search, you will see all of my research from years and years and years. I have a research list where you can start to even look for places to go and find out information. Doctors that I know will tell you the truth, like Dr. John Bergman. He's a chiropractor out of California, but he's diehard. He don't care what the medical industry is saying. He gonna give it to you raw and uncut. So I follow him. I've learned a lot from him. I follow people who talk about Codex Alimentarius. A lot of people don't even know what that is. Agenda 21. They have no clue. That's the deal with our food, how they're trying to take what's natural and basically label it as a pharmaceutical and then make it illegal. So they don't know that. I just found out something which I don't know how true it is, but I did find out about it. They're saying the reason that they're letting the marijuana industry grow right now is because there's something in the marijuana that will eventually cause the males to be impotent. Don't ask me, but that sounds about right, because they do little sneaky stuff like that. So y'all keep smoking all that weed if you want to. I have a lot of herbalists that I follow. Yaki Hickman is one. Patrick Dales, he's over in Grenada. He's a great herbalist. So there's a research list. You can type that up and type in research list. It'll pull that up. There's tons of information in that group. Some of it is funny. I try to keep it multi-information, not just on one subject matter, because that's how these people keep getting their group shut down. So I put up recipes. I'll put up how to make your own laundry detergent. And I'll throw in some Yaki Hickman. This is how you heal yourself. Here are the herbs. So I just like, they not going to catch me because they don't know which way I'm going. So I try to make it where people can get information and add to it. So it's an open group. Anybody can get into it. Now the group, my other group where all my soap is, which is my Soapapalooza group. And do you remember how to spell that? SOAPAPALLOZA. There it is at the top. Soapapalooza. Now, right now, and I may extend my sale till the end of the month, I may extend it further, but that group has all my soaps in it. They're not on my website. I can't figure out how to load them. Oh, well. And what I'm doing now, because right now there's COVID, people have low on funds. I'm offering 5 full loads for $100, which is half price. So you can get 5 loads, which will give you 40 bars of soap. They'll last you quite some time. And when the soap gets to be too small, you can put it in the little soap saver sock and continue to use those little pieces of your soap, so you don't have to throw them down the toilet or in the trash. So that's another way you can save yourself some money. And that's going to go till the end of the month. And like I said, I may extend that sale because I want people to get out of the chemical zone in their own home. So there's a great selection there. My husband makes the shungite soap and the goat's milk soap, and then everything else is on me. And so you can get stuff from there. And then I have the DIY Elderberry Group, DIY Elderberry. And that group was created because elderberries are very powerful. They are high in vitamin A, vitamin C. And I wanted people to make their own elderberry syrup, because a small bottle at the store for maybe 8 ounces costs you $20, when you can get the kit from me for $20 and make 32 ounces versus 8 ounces. So I wanted to show them how to make their own elderberry syrup. I want people to be self-sufficient, and I'm trying to give them the tools so that they can be that way. I'd rather be 100 of me than 1 of me. I teach classes for children how to make safe soap art. I teach people how to make their own elderberry syrup. And I keep a supply, because when it's flu season, they can't find the elderberries. But I always got a supply, because I just stay stocked up on there, because I know what's coming down the road. So DIY Elderberry is something else. You can look into that group, and there's great information there from scientists about how effective elderberry syrup is. They've used it in cancer research. They've used it in AIDS research. They don't tell you that, but that is one of the only herbs that I personally keep abundance of. I have lots of herbs, but I keep an abundance of the dried elderberries, because you can make your tea, you can make your syrup, and I give you the instructions. So that is what I do, because to me, it just makes common sense that you make your own products. So I try to get people to do that.
All right. Well, we've been spending time with the good queen, Marcia Owens. You can find her on Facebook. She's on Facebook all the time. Marcia Owens-Harris. Marcia Owens-Harris. And you can learn about her Elderberry Group. It looks like Teresa, a good friend of the Beach Brothers show. We love you, Teresa. Yeah, happy New Year coming up. She said Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So happy everything. Yep, happy everything, Teresa. She's a good friend of the Beach Brothers show. And we had the good brother Bashiri Durham. Bashiri, one last time, man, tell us about your podcast, the name of your podcast, and where they can find you.
Name of the podcast, the Love, Peace, and Confrontation Podcast. I'm on Anchor, I'm on Apple, and all of the other, what do they call, DSPs and platforms that carry that kind of content and the like. Really, it's just about having those courageous conversations. And right now, like I said, I'm in a series that's dealing with why the civil rights movement was a failure. And I really want to instigate. Creative conflict. That's what I'm interested in. I think we grow from disagreement, and I think we atrophy in our ingenuity when we agree too much. When you're in the echo chamber of people, you're just hearing your thoughts all the time. You ain't growing. You need something to cut you so you can really get out there and become the best iteration of yourself. So let's get out and, let's have these courageous conversations. Let's talk. Let's fight a little bit. You know what I mean? Love, peace, and confrontation.
Love, peace, and confrontation. Marcia, Brother Bashir, it was good to have you on the show today.
Likewise.
You've been checking out a combination of the Beach Brothers Show, which is a show highlighting Virginia business and politics. And you've also been on Get On Code, the Fly Guy Show, where we have a series of melanated conversations to improve our collective situation. We want to say peace. We want to say everything good to you. We want to say blessings. We want to say we love you. And stay fly. Stay fly.
Stay fly.
Stay fly.